What's up YouTube, SimplyUnlucky here, and today we're doing a Yu-Gi-Oh! 2012 September ban list video for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about all the cards that were affected by the ban list, and how they affect the new decks that are in this format. So let's start with ban cards, which are Future Fusion and Bryonic. Bryonic was a very good card, and I do think it deserved to be banned because you could discard as many cards as you want during your turn and bounce any cards on the field, so which is crazy. And also Future Fusion definitely deserved to be banned. I think it should have been banned before the last format, because it's just so good. It's a painful choice for dragons, which is why they banned Painful Choice, because Painful Choice is way too good. And it seriously would give dragons like a +4 and possible OTK every time it was used. So it was crazy. And so I'm glad they banned that. Also, Bryonic and Future Fusion put together some crazy combos for so many decks. So I'm glad they're both gone. Now, limited at 1 is Inzektor Hornet, Inzektor Dragonfly, Ultimate Offering, Red Eyes Darkness, Metal Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer, Tsukiyomi, Evigishi Gust Kraken, Spore, and Wind Up Zen Mighty. And so the Inzektor monsters like Hornet and Dragonfly, I'm glad Dragonfly was limited, but I'm not too sure about the Hornet also being limited, because I think that kind of gives Inzektors too much of a disadvantage. But I think that they just kind of wanted to get rid of the deck and not make it that good at all. So I know Inzektors still do have a fighting chance, and they are still good, but just I wish they would have semi-limited another Inzektor monster and just limited Hornet and something like that. Not limited both Hornet and Dragonfly. But hey, what can you do? So Ultimate Offering is at 1. That's great, so that gadgets can't go off and OTK you and all that cool stuff. Red Eyes Darkness, Metal Dragon at 1, so you can't do the cool combos and high erratics with that huge ranked Xyz guy. That's good. Tsukiyomi at 1. I think they could have put Tsukiyomi at 2 or 3, to be honest. I don't think Tsukiyomi is going to be doing much this format at all. If anything, it slows people down, or it helps get some cool combos with a lot of cards. But there's so many OTK combos, one-turn kill combos, and stuff like that Tsukiyomi is just not going to do much in this format, I don't think anyways. But it'll always be fun to use with cards like Raiko, Lightsworns, stuff like that. And Chaos Sorcerer, that's kind of bad, and since it's not semi-limited, it's actually limited, so that means that most of those Chaos decks that were pretty good aren't going to be too good anymore, like Chaos Stun, Piper Chaos, Chaos Dragons. That just slows him down a little bit, but I think it's good that he's gone. Chaos Sorcerer is just a really good card, so that's good. I mean, they kept, Envoy, Blackluster Soldier at the beginning in, so what can you do? Evigishi Gust Kraken. I don't really know much about Evigishis. I just know that ruined the deck, kind of, so I mean, I was there. I watched all the Evigishi cards go to like $5 to $10 on eBay. Then the next day they were $1. So Spore, that's cool. Helps out all those pretty much any deck that is using the plant engine in it. So it could be like junk decks or zombies or something cool like that. And so that's cool at 1. Wind Up Zen Mighty. Wind-ups are still going to be so good with Zen Mighty at 1. It's crazy. Zen Mighty by itself is just already a +1 or +2 sometimes if it's left on the field. And Wind-ups still go off without it or with it at 1. So in my opinion, I think they should just ban it, because I think Wind-ups are still going to be the top deck. But hey, what can you do? I mean, they limited 2 cards in Inzektors, and now it's just like Wind-ups are going to take the top. And now for semi-limited cards, or cards that are at 2, Tour Guide of the Underworld, that's good. 3 Tour Guides I think was a little much, so that's nice. Mirror Force, in my opinion, I never really thought Mirror Force was that good of a card. I always thought that Dimensional Prison was better. But Mirror Force at 2, you're gonna see a lot of Starlight Roads popping out now, especially with Torrential at 2 and stuff like that. So Starlight Road I think is gonna be really good. In my opinion, I think they could have put Mirror Force at 3, but I think it's just been fun to see a lot of Mirror Forces. But yeah, that's cool. Reasoning at 2, I still haven't seen many decks using Reasoning, so it being at 2 is fine. I don't see it making too big of a difference. Hero Lives, that's good. It slows down any kind of deck that's trying to do any type of OTK or just super cool first turn combos. Hieratic Seal of Convocation slows down Hieratics a little bit, though I don't really think they needed to do that, but it's okay, I guess. Pod Duality at 2, that's fine. I mean, it's affected most decks the same, except for those that didn't use Pod Duality in the first place, but they tried to hurt most decks that didn't use Pod Duality. That was kind of the point of this ban list. And Emergency Call at 2, to be honest, I think they should put it at 1. Heroes are still really good, so yeah, I don't know. Emergency Call at 2 just think wasn't enough. And Blackwing Collude at 2, that's not gonna do it for Blackwings. They should have put Collude at 3. I don't understand it at all, because Black Wings still aren't even a top tier with Kaluta at 2, so I don't know. I just think they should definitely put it at 3, because I do like Black Wings a lot. And Rescue Rabbit at 2, that's good. It's really not as good still as Heroes or... I mean, it is in its own way. So, I mean, Rescue Rabbit 2 is okay. I wish kind of would have put it at 1. Just think the card's so dang good. Debris Dragon at 2. That's good. Helps out all the plant decks or anything that's trying to do some cool synchro combos. So they're kind of promoting synchro summoning again. That's good. And Earth Agent of Mystery. Helps out the agent decks. Get out that Hyperion. Cool stuff like that. So I think that's nice. I mean, I still don't know if the agents will still be that good of a deck, but that's good that it's still... that they put Earth at 2. I think 3 would have been probably a little too much. Too many 2-rank combos. Seize combos. And then for the unlimited cards, there's Necrogarden at 3, Marshmallon, Emergency Teleport, Destiny Draw, Swords Revealing Light, Level Limit Area B, and Magic Cylinder. All these cards that are unlimited was pretty... I think that was nice. Giving a rise to like Burn with Marshmallon and Magic Cylinder being at 3. I think that's pretty cool. Level Area Limit and Swords for those stall decks, kind of like for Final Countdown, stuff like that. Destiny Draw at 3. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference, but it does help certain decks kind of add that D-Hero engine to it. So you can put in, your 3 Destiny Draws and Destiny Hero Malicious or a couple Diamond Dudes or something cool like that. So that's fun. And then Emergency Teleport, giving the rise to the Psychics. I mean, like we already saw a Psychic deck get 2nd place at the last YCS, which is crazy. So everyone's going to start trying out the Psychics. And I think Psychics are pretty good, so especially with the Emergency Teleport at 3. And yeah, Necrogarden, you can put that in your stall decks, or you can put that in Lightsworn, so that or even like a Blackwing Turbo type deck. So it's always fun with Necrogarden, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. Overall, I think the ban list was a pretty good ban list, but I think they should have slowed down a couple of the better decks a little bit more, like Heroes, Dino Rabbit, Windups, and even the Yugiohs. I think they should have limited the Gigant X to 1. But yeah, I think it's a good ban list. It didn't really slow the format too much. It just kind of slowed it down just a little bit, because decks are still going to be extremely fast. You'll still see a lot of just, an Alpha Strike in 1 turn by summoning 5 monsters out and cool stuff like that. But I'm really happy they got rid of Future Fusion. I hated that card so much. That's also how I lost the YCS. And yeah, I got top 74, so that's good. And then I also want to do one more thing for you guys. You don't really have to go by this or anything, but I will put it in the description, and I will be making changes to it as time goes on, so it'll always be changing. And I think it's something that everyone can kind of check out and look at every now and then. And I want to make a tier list for you guys. So a tier list for all the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. And I know they might not all be on here, and I may make a mistake here and there. So you guys can always, mention in the comments. Actually, I want you guys to mention in the comments the decks that you guys are using in this new format, or what decks you guys think will be good. Or if you think I should add anything to this tier list, or to make some changes to it, that's fine. This is just kind of a general overall, just kind of tier list to help everyone out. Just see what are the top decks right now and what's winning and stuff, because I do pay attention to the stuff that is winning the tournaments and stuff like that. So for God tier, we have Windups, Yugiohs, Heroes, and Dino Rabbits. So this is the God tier. This is above tier 1. This is the tier that you will see these decks winning or getting top 8 every single tournament that you see in the next 6 months, in my opinion anyways. So Windups, Yugiohs, Heroes, Dino Rabbits, way too good. Those decks are just so consistent. That's kind of what I based this tier list off of, was consistency. So that's kind of what I think is going to be the God tier. For tier 1, I put in Dark Worlds, just because I was thinking of putting Dark Worlds in the God tier, but Dark Worlds are a little inconsistent, and they can always get those bad hands and stuff, and they just get obliterated by D-Fissure. So Dark Worlds, Burn, I think Burn will be really good in this format. Psychics, like I said, Emergency Teleport being at 3, Psychics are going to be seeing a lot of play. Definitely tier 1. And then also tier 1, any like Machina, Gadget, or Karakuri deck, those decks are very consistent now, especially with the Gigant X being out and stuff like that. They have so many +1s, or just getting out so many synchro monsters so quickly, stuff like that. It's just a really fun deck to play and very consistent. So I think those are definitely tier 1 decks. And then also 6 Samurais. I think 6 Samurais just haven't really seen their light yet. I don't want to put them in tier 2, but I might have to move them there eventually. But I think for now, I'm going to keep them in tier 1. I just love 6 Samurai so much. I do think they have their chance to be a tier 1 deck. As for tier 2s, definitely Zectors, and Zectors are still good, and they can still win. So definitely in there. X-Sabers, they have a dang good fighting chance with all these other decks, and you do see them win every now and then. Not like win a tournament, but you will maybe see someone get beat by them that is playing these other top tier decks. And yeah, also with the new Elemental Grand Soil guy, I think you could definitely throw him in the X-Saber deck, and that'd be an awesome deck. And then Agents, definitely with Mystery of Earth being at 2, Agents do have a good fighting chance, and you can, Hyperion's also always amazing, kind of like just a dad in itself. And yeah, just Agents are really good. The Mystical Shine Ball combos, getting out all those rank 2s and stuff like that. And then Hieratics, I would have put them in a higher tier, but I think they deserve tier 2 because of the ban list. They kind of slowed them down a little bit, but they are still very consistent. And then Gravekeepers, Gravekeeper is a deck that just stops everything. So Gravekeeper is a very consistent deck that could definitely deserve tier 2. And you always see it now in the Gravekeeper deck here and there in the top 32 in whatever tournament you're picking, in a YCS or whatever you're looking at. And then for tier 3, decks that I think deserve the tier 3 spot will be Zombies, Blackwings, Prophecy or Spellcaster decks using the Prophecy cards, and Lightsworn, Quasar or Junk decks because of all the, maybe using the Plant Engine, stuff like that. But yeah, I think Quasar decks are just going to be pretty good. Lightsworn, any type of Chaos decks, so like Chaos Stun, Chaos Dragons, or Piper Chaos, they were just slowed down a little bit by the Chaos Sorcerer being limited to 1. And then Evil decks and Plants, or just the Plant Engine, you'll see a lot of just Plant Engines in those tier 3 decks and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's tier 3. And then for tier 4, I put in Crystal Beasts, Photons, Lavels, Gishkis, Exodia decks, Frogs, TGs, Dragonities, Gustos, D-Hero Turbo or Destiny Hero Turbos, Malefics, Final Countdown, Watt decks are just the Thunder decks using the new Thunder cards, and the Medolches. So those kind of like the tier 4 decks that you'll see shown up here and there. And there's some other decks, that I could throw in probably tier 4, but I'll just leave that last tier, the creativity tier for all those Dark Magician decks, cool stuff like that, Blue Eyes decks. But yeah, overall, I think it was, I think a tier list could help everyone out to see kind of what's good in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. And you guys all let me know in the comments if you think I should change anything or what you think your opinion is, stuff like that. Because this is my opinion, but I just wanted to create something to help everyone out since I'm making a ban list video anyways. So, thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And I have a whole bunch of openings coming up, so definitely be ready for that. And Simply Unlucky, signing out.